Everybody says children need consistency and to know where their place in the family and what the parents' roles are in the family. So if that's changing too much, you start to feel a bit unsure of yourself and wonder why it's happening. And I think most children ask, is it something I'm doing? Am I doing something wrong that's making things go wrong? It makes you uncertain.
Because I feel very strongly about the idea about trying to protect children by not involving them in situations or speaking to them, I think is a fundamental mistake. I think that's a fundamental mistake. I suffered great pain by not being involved in those situations, and people doing other things, in quotes, to protect me, I think was incredibly detrimental to my own mental health and my own well-being as a young man.
I was definitely grateful that we were kept informed of everything that was happening. You know, we know something's going on. We may not know everything, but we know something's going on. We're not stupid. I guess it's just figuring out what is important that the kids do need to know, and in knowing what the symptoms are, I guess sharing that with us, and I guess having support for the kids as well. Like, it's been really good knowing other people who have parents with a mental illness, so we're able to relate and chat.
I think the best thing that health workers could do with children that are involved would be to give them age-relevant information and to tell them everything. One of the things that my brother and I thought growing up was that it was a once-off, and when it was happening again, we didn't understand why. We thought it was over. We had the big blow-up, we had hospital, and now it would be okay. And then it happens again. If we knew the whole story, we would have been more prepared for that and not as let down by it happening again.
I mean, children aren't stupid. I mean, I remember witnessing things and hearing things as a child, which nobody then spoke to me later about, which then distressed me. I mean, it would have been very helpful if someone had said, after certain incidents, look, your dad's not well at the moment. You know, it's not because your dad doesn't love you.
Life would have been easier growing up if there was more consistency, if we still got to make it to netball on Wednesday nights or to the sleepovers on the weekends, but sometimes all those things had to be put on hold for a little while.
You want to see your parent. You know, obviously I saw him sometimes when he was not having a great time, but guess what? As a child, I could have dealt with that. You know, it was much more painful to me for him not to be there and to not have that contact with that. And even though I became distressed afterwards and I cried, kids, you know, we cry, we fall over, we get up, we get over it.
I think the whole time he really made sure that us kids were all right. So of course he was looking after Mum, but he made sure that we were coping all right with it. You know, that he'd talk to us about it. How are you feeling? Are you okay? You know, do you need to talk to somebody? I get asked a lot, are you sure you don't need to talk to somebody? I'm like, no, I'm fine.
My dad understood it really, really well, and he would tell us what was going on. He'd be like, okay, look, your mum's just not feeling so good, don't fight and don't do this, but you can make her cups of tea and be all supportive for her and then go play.
But in the longer term, going through those really difficult things, I think has helped me enormously because I think I'm more resilient. It's been a tremendous advantage, my childhood, to what I've done as an adult.
At the time, I didn't really understand why he'd come over to visit and things like that. So for me, it was just, at the time, it was just fun. But certainly now understanding exactly what that trip was about kind of really, it makes me know that he actually really did care about us. And I think, that kind of connection to him through those times was really good as well. So for me, I think it's really important to understand that kids are going to love their parents no matter what, and they're going to see them as those parents, and they're not necessarily going to notice that mental illness or that mental health issue. That kids still act as kids as well, even though they might take on more of that responsibility.
I just wanted to spend time with my parents, and that the times and the times I spent with them and with my grandparents and that, those are the precious memories that you recall when you grow up, and you don't really recall all the toys that you had, or or all the treats, you know, or when I went to the cinema, or I had this meal, or I did that. So for me, those are not the things I recall, you know, with fond memories. The fond memories is about the being with, and just the feeling that, you know, that your parent cared about you.